And I think I'm getting to a part of the pond here that is basically just covered in this shoreline grass here. So I think Taylor's gonna have an advantage. Oh, never mind. Oh, there's one. There's one. Got a nice one. Oh my goodness. On the edge. Holy cow, it's big. That is big. Oh, and he choked it. He choked it. Over the last decade, I've caught fish in every corner of North America. From California to Mexico, Florida to New York, and all the way up to Canada, documenting it all on video for you guys.
Yes, I got it!
But as a video creator and instructor, I've generally left out one of the most important and the largest demographics in the world of fishing, and that is the bank beater, the pond prowler, the shore master.
Yeah!
In this series, I'm making it my goal to fish more bodies of water than I ever have before, but this time, from the bank. My name's Tyler, and this is 100 Ponds. Well, what's going on, folks, and welcome back to 100 Ponds. So I know here on my channel, I talk a lot about different bass fishing lures and techniques and what time they're good, where they are good, and how you can best apply them on your ponds and lakes where you fish. And so I talk a lot about topwater fishing being good in the morning, but I hardly ever, especially during the late spring, summer, and fall, especially when I fish ponds, do I start with a lure other than topwater. And so I'm gonna bring Taylor along with us, there he is, along with us today for today's challenge. I'm going to have a topwater and he's gonna have a swim jig. And I know this potentially has the chance of being an unfair challenge, being that I'm going to go first, but all the time I talk about having a clean up lure. That is a lure that catches bass that the first or second lure you threw doesn't get the first time. So I'm gonna go around this pond number 91, with the topwater to start, to see if it is more crucial to be first to a spot or to have a more appealing lure. And heck, maybe today the topwater is both first and most appealing. I say enough talking, let's get down to pond number 91. So before Taylor and I start fishing, let's talk about the conditions here at the pond. We have, I would say, dog days of summer conditions. It is the end of July. It is hot, hot, hot. Although today it's not too hot. Actually, kind of a nice morning, but it's been hot here in Texas. Highs of over 100 every day. So the water definitely going to be warm. Topwater still going to be a player, I assume, but that's why we're having Taylor test a bottom contact lure right behind me. Let's see if I can get down to the water level. Oh, nope, I can't do that. So it looks like we're gonna have to fish a little bit behind the bank line, which shouldn't be all that difficult, but I can't exactly tell water depth. Of course, with the topwater, I won't be able to tell water depth. And with the low light conditions, I also can't see what the water clarity is, but none of that really matters. We're gonna test topwater versus bottom contact bait. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
He's ready. Taylor Cam and Tyler Cam. And so like I mentioned, Taylor will be behind me the entire time. Not necessarily fishing my used water. He'll make more casts out to the middle. But we just want to test as best as we can at the same times which lure gets more bites during this time of the year, because I always go topwater first. Maybe that's not the right move depending on the pond. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got him. Oh my goodness. What an aggressive fish. Oh, no giant, but definitely had some excitement there. And with how shallow this fish bit, I feel like this is one that I potentially stole that Taylor could have caught because of how shallow it was. But either way, it's 1-0. Oh, and I guess technically that's a success at pond 91. Now, where Taylor does have the advantage here is in the weedlessness of his lure. I guess I could have picked a topwater frog instead of a walking bait, but I didn't think this pond was going to have so much stuff far out from the bank that I can't get my body past. And so my strike zone is a whole lot smaller than his is, but I'm still winning 1-0. So up to this point, don't think it matters. And now that the sun is a little bit higher, I can see the bank here is so dang shallow. So I'm not exactly sure if this was the best pond to choose this challenge at, so I'm really getting the best crack at these fish being first with how shallow it is. But if there is any structure off the bank that I can't see, that may be a little bit too deep for a walking bait to get fish to come out of, that's where Taylor's gonna have the advantage. But early in the morning, are the fish even out there? That's the question we're trying to answer. Oh, it is so shallow. Look at that. That's no good. Gotta cover this water as fast as I can. I'm not a fan of this muddy, shallow sloping bank. Well, I'm about 1/3 of the way through this pond with only one real bite of to speak during the best topwater time of the day. So I think Texas fishing is just getting pretty tough. Because looking back, I don't think I see Taylor has caught one either. But there's lots of good shallow grass here that I didn't really fish all that hard, because I'm just kind of casting around the edges that maybe he can pull a fish out of.
Dang it. Dang it, stole my claw.
There's one. There's one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Get out of that stick. What do I have? Oh, get it. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, sir. Oh, yes. Beautiful fish. Oh, not a giant, but a nice one on the walking bait. Barely had to set the hook there. My red line treble hooks that I put on there got that fish pretty good. All right. That is now 2-0. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, I've got 2, and both of those fish came within inches of water. I mean, I can see the bottom here. It is mud. That fish was living in nothing. So as of now, I think I'm proving that, at least in this pond today, I know it's anecdotal, but being first to fish is better than being best to fish. Having the first lure there is better than having the proper lure, or the one that a fish is willing to bite the most. And both of those fish came in open water, which means Taylor still has a chance to catch some on all those grass patches that I didn't catch any on, but we will see if he does.
Finally, there we go, there we go. Come here, buddy.
Uh-oh, I think Taylor got him one.
Finally a swim jig eater. So since Tyler's fishing out in front of me, I'm just trying to go really slow and pick apart stuff that hopefully missed his top water, which I think he's got me beat right now, but we're gonna try to catch up.
Heck yeah. Maybe he's had more and I haven't seen him, who knows? I'm gonna call him, I need to know what's going on.
Hello?
Is that your first fish?
Yes.
Okay, how big was it?
I don't know, 1.5 pounds probably.
Okay, nice. Open water or next to some grass?
It's next to this grass stuff.
Okay, well that kind of makes sense because I didn't catch any. My 2 fish have come in open water. So I figured you'd get one because you're underneath the water.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go really slow and can maybe hit stuff that you missed with that thing.
That's a good idea.
Alrighty.
Keep catching them.
Yep, you too.
Well, as I had thought, Taylor caught his swim jig fish on some cover underneath the water. So I couldn't get a fish to come eat it. Oh, got one. Couldn't get a fish to come eat around the grass, but it seems like these open water wood fish are loving the walking bait. And these, I'm telling y'all, if you're having trouble hooking fish on your treble hooks, try going a little bit smaller and thinner. This here is the VMC red line treble. And I've loved these things for baits that I don't really want to set the hook on very hard. The walking bait, small ploppers, popper style, those are prime candidates for treble hook replacement. And man, even though I'm not really a fan of how shallow these banks are, obviously, if you can be there first in open water, the fish are gonna bite a dang topwater. Now, would they also bite a swim bait? Probably. Would they also bite a vibrating jig or a spinner bait? Probably. But I still think that being first to fish a spot is extra crucial.
Oh my God, dude, I was looking behind me and that fish like ripped the rod out of my hand. Holy cow. Was not even paying attention. I turned around to look at Tyler. He just ripped the rod out of my hand almost.
If that was Minnesota, there'd be a smallmouth there. Now this pond looks like it's got some better aquatic vegetation. Look at this. We've got some dang, it's not milfoil. It's honestly kind of junky looking grass, but it's better than no grass. I wish this would wash into that pond. There is nothing on this bank but shallow, muddy sticks, which actually I should probably slow down a little bit. That's what I got bites on so far. It just doesn't look appealing at all. We got a nice point sticking out here with some little branches, probably a little drop off there as well. Come on now, be a bass. In 3, 2, 1, splash, nope, splash, nope. That should catch a fish. This cast right here, right now, nope. I tell you what though, with all the new fancy reels coming out, the Mach 2 still can sling it. We don't need no fancy braking technology, just good old-fashioned learning how it works, like the good old days. Now let's have some fun here. I think it's a range ball. Nope, it's a Callaway Chrome Soft. We're gonna place this guy on the green. Maybe somebody will think they hit a good shot. And I think I'm getting to a part of the pond here that is basically just covered in this shoreline grass here. So I think Taylor's gonna have an advantage. Oh, never mind. Oh, there's one. There's one. Got a nice one. Oh my goodness, on the edge. Holy cow, it's big. That is big. Come on, get in here, buddy. Get in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, no real need for a hard hook set, especially with these treble hooks. Get your butt in here. Oh, and he choked it. He choked it. Oh, I can flip you on in. Yes, sir. Let's go. And I think this fish left no doubt whether or not he wanted that topwater. It is head first down the mouth hole. I don't think I've caught a topwater fish as deep in the mouth, maybe besides a frog, in a long time. That's crazy. Wasn't hooked by much, but he was so deep in there, it almost doesn't matter. Beautiful bass right there. Thank you, my friend. Not as big as I thought, maybe pushing 3.5 pounds, but gorgeous. See ya, buddy. And I was just saying that I think Taylor has the advantage, and I still believe that. I caught the fish here on probably the deepest grass edge we have left in this pond at the current water level. And so would that fish have eaten any other lure? Potentially. It blew up twice on my topwater there. Oh my goodness, another one, another one. Holy cow. Okay, well, I think we are confirming a little bit what I'm thinking about being first to a spot is pretty important. Because yeah, both of these fish are so incredibly aggressive. I had just drug a fish through this guy's area, and yet he still chose to eat. Thank you, my friend. What is that now, 4 or 5? I think it's 5. Either way, this is the mega cast right here. Now, I'll say this about this specific cast right here, is that I can parallel the entire thing because of the shoreline being accessible. I can actually stand here and cast. A lot of the rest of the stuff, I won't be able to parallel nearly as good. So if these bass are stacked up on the edge of this deep grass here, and there's areas that I can't make really good, precise parallel casts, I think that's where Taylor is going to excel with his swim jig. Hello. Yep, this bank line here just became a lot less fishable for me. Got him. Got him. Oh gosh, dang it. Dude, they're loaded in this corner. Loaded. Yeah, this area here suits his lure a whole lot better. I just can't really fish effectively when I'm knee deep in this kind of stuff, making very short roll casts. The wind is picking up, which should help his bite. And actually, you know what? In theory, it might help mine as well, but I really think wind blowing into all this grass here is definitely gonna help Taylor. And I think he's about to get kicked out because I see someone walking towards him. Looks like the guy's walking on a mission. And Taylor's got his back turned, definitely on purpose, because he's about to meet his inevitable end.
How are you? I'm good. Bass. Yeah, I just moved here from New York actually in January, so.
What, is he telling him his life story? Goodness.
Oh, I know. I love fishing too.
Yeah.
Where we live, Colorado doesn't have a lot of lakes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of water there.
Lots of streams, that's really it, right?
But fly fishing is good, but
Yeah.
I like lake fishing better.
Yeah, me too. Have a good one.
Oh, they're shaking hands. And he made a cast. All right, good local golf course encounter.
Hello?
Was that guy a big fan of Taylor Marcel fishing?
Yeah, he was, dude. Super fan. Let me tell you.
I was commentating to the camera whether or not that was a good conversation.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
All right, bye. Hello, wind. Wow, wow, okay. Whoa. Yeah, a small walking bait with this kind of wind is not ideal. There's one. What a bite. Dang it. Dang it, dang it. I just didn't have a good angle to set the hook on that fish with all this stuff around here. And I had to kind of pull a little bit too hard, which for these treble hooks is not what you want to do. So, not surprised I lost that fish. Probably a 2-3 pounder, crazy aggressive. And even though I was able to prove that you can get a bite on a topwater where it's not really easy to throw a topwater, I would have landed that fish if I was throwing practically anything else. So really that fish would have gone to Taylor and he would have landed him more than likely if I hadn't have fished this area with the topwater. Got him. There we go. Uh-oh, how am I gonna get him through this stuff though? Oh gosh, there ain't no way. Wow, okay. I guess when they eat it like this, you can pull them through whatever. Thank you, my friend. Again, is a swim jig or a vibrating jig or a worm better in this scenario? Absolutely. This fish came totally out of the water for it, and I had to pull him over all that shallow grass. So I'm glad I'm catching fish, but I really think these fish are smarter fished for by somebody with a different lure. And I just happen to be getting the bites because I'm first. Oh, a thunder cricket or a spinnerbait would be killing it right now. Well, that does it for me on this side of the pond. We'll check in with Taylor when he finishes here in a few minutes to see how we did.
I'm gonna get freaking shickers again. There's a tick in me already. That's fire. Get off me. There we go. There we go, there we go. Got us one. Little fatty. Oh, wow, that's wet. All right, sorry, buddy. Wow. Perfect. Let's go. Technically 2 for me, because that one I lost, I didn't land it, but I don't know. I might say 3. 2.5. How about that?
Well, boys and girls, I'm not gonna say that I'm surprised by the results. Are you surprised by the results?
No.
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 I really think for the most part, especially on a shallow pond like this, it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in the water past the bank line, that being first to a spot, probably no matter the lure, unless the lure looks horrible in the water, is probably more important. Now, what do you wish, you were telling me, what do you wish you had instead of a swim jig?
I wish I had a thunder cricket because it got real windy real quick and I just don't think I was making enough noise. So.
That's true. And you gotta make noise to be one of the boys. Put that on a t-shirt. Oh yeah, also, guess what we put on a t-shirt? Give them the business. This video is sponsored retroactively by my merch brand, Infinite Outdoors. If you haven't checked it out, I will leave it down below. Little plug. I knew going into this challenge that it may be slightly unfair, but I still wanted to give it a shot. Now I know, of course, it's anecdotal, it is situational. The fact that this pond didn't have a whole lot in the water was definitely not advantageous to Taylor having success, but we may try it again and maybe flip-flop the results, or I go or a vibrating jig and he goes with a Senko to try to see if that kind of a comparison has different results. But what this really has told me is that if you are bank fishing, bring 2 rods with you as you're walking the bank, because I could have caught all the fish for both of us if I had had just one topwater and one bottom or mid-depth lure. What should they do in the corners, huh?
Watch the video that Boss Man's gonna put there. Watch that one. And subscribe.
Yeah, and thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time right here, 100 Ponds.